Your opinion is wrong. And so is mine, pretty much. So recently, I got a question from a subscriber named CancerMan50 who asks, do you think it would work out if they ask for public opinion before deciding what changes to make to attractions? Like a voting website or something. And I thought this was an interesting question because I feel like over the past few announcements of what they're doing at the Disney parks across the country, this certainly seems like an idea that I think would be very popular with Disney fans. Of course, I'm talking about the Tower of Terror and the fact that over in California it's being changed into a Guardians of the Galaxy attraction, and a lot of hardcore Disney fans are not happy with this change. They think it's a bad idea. And of course, an idea like this, a voting website, some sort of democratization of these decisions that get made, would probably have prevented it from happening. So would it be a good idea? No, I don't think it would be a good idea. I actually think it would be a pretty bad idea. And I think the reason for that boils down to something that goes far beyond Disney fandom or fandom of any kind. I think it just boils down to human nature, and I think that's the fact that people just don't like change. They fear change. Yet at the same time, we can recognize that change can be very good. Within the realm of Disney, I certainly think it would be a bad idea because I think most proposals for things to be changed into something else would get shot down by the more passionate fans. You have to remember that, we are a small group within the world of Disney World. Tens of millions of people visit this place every year, but when it comes to these hardcore fans who watch videos like this or make videos like this, we are a small number, and yet we are the more passionate of the two, right? So let's say I'm going to take Tower of Terror out of this equation. I'm going to go back to my favorite. So I'm showing that, this isn't just because I'm okay with that change. I'm going to go to Horizons. Horizons was my favorite Disney attraction. In fact, I think in the scope of things, I think it is my favorite Disney attraction ever. And it was replaced with Mission Space, an attraction I actually don't like very much. I don't dislike it, I guess, but I think it's just a pretty mediocre attraction as far as rides go. If they had put up a poll that let people vote on whether or not to close Horizons for Mission Space, I have no doubt in my mind that the vote would be to keep Horizons. And I think Epcot would be worse off for it, even though I don't like the new ride as much as, the old ride. We just tend to not like these new things. I think what would happen is all of the casual guests of the park who go maybe every couple of years or who maybe haven't gone before the time that Mission Space opened wouldn't know about this poll. They wouldn't be voting on this poll. They'd be the ones who wouldn't have their voices heard because they just don't care that much. Whereas the more passionate fans, the ones who probably want to see Horizon stick around because they tie this entire place to a sense of nostalgia, which is why they love it, would be the ones voting once or twice or however many times they can get away with to make sure that the ride stays. And then what you end up with is something that I think Walt inherently did not want these parks to become, which is a museum. He said himself, things need to change, things need to evolve. On top of that, I think it's important to remember that they are a business. They are not in the business of making change just for the sake of change. At the end of the day, they want to have people come into the parks and give them money. So it would make sense that they do changes that they think everybody as a whole would like. And part of doing that involves things like, having discussions, taking surveys, what do they call them? Focus group testing, where they might run these ideas by people. And in a way, that kind of does make it a little bit of a democracy in that they are taking the feedback from people who typically go to these parks and using that in their decision making. And then lastly, I think it's important to remember that, these theme parks, there is a sort of democratization of what happens at these parks, and it's with your money and your wallet. Of course, it's sort of a pie in the sky thinking, but at the end of the day, if they make a change that people who go to Disney find so awful that they stop going to Disney, Disney's going to start losing money. And they're going to put together really quickly why it's happening, and that's how you're going to see them make changes. That's just sort of naturally how that works. Now, I think the part that people don't like, especially within our circle of super fans, is being reminded that while we are very passionate fans for Disney, we are not the majority. We are not, we don't represent the majority opinion when it comes to Disney. I have a feeling that you're going to have a lot of hardcore fans who are going to just on principle not enjoy the Guardians of the Galaxy Tower of Terror just because they don't like the fact that it replaced Tower of Terror. And I think they're not going to be happy with the fact that I think we're going to see a lot of the general public love the ride. And I think it's going to be a success as long as, you know, the quality of Imagineering is as good as it's always been. I think you'll see that the general public enjoys things like that. And, you know, it's just the sort of super fans who have problems with it. And I think because we need to keep everybody in mind, that's why it's important that we just don't leave it up to a vote or a website or something like that. Anyway, those are just my thoughts on the subject. I would love to hear what you guys think about it. Obviously, my opinion is not the only opinion, and while I was joking at the beginning of the video, your opinion does matter. So let me know in the comments below. Maybe you think the parks would have been so much better off if we listened to the super fans. Maybe you think it's a great idea that we don't listen to the super fans. Maybe there's this middle ground where we recognize that Imagineers themselves tend to be fans of the parks and they're doing things that they think are best for the parks. Let me know in the comments below. If you want to see more videos like this, all you have to do is hit that subscribe button. I do 3 a week. Thanks for watching. Have a great week. Whatever you're doing, make the most of it. I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.